Hey everybody, Ethan here, and you're on my side of the room. I'm back already. Here to talk about what just came in Amazon today as of this filming. Not sponsored, but I'm back on the Joyo train again. I'm here to tell you that creativity is a process. And it is a process sometimes of trial and error. And so I'm not happy to report I've got a big pile of pedals that are kind of becoming irrelevant. Certain ones I use for certain reasons, but bass-wise, really realistically, I don't use very many pedals at all. And so I took my tiny little pedal board as it is and stripped it down to like the barest essentials. I've got a tuner, I've got my DSP simplifier, and I've got my octave pedal, which is Joyo. So there's a Joyo product on the board already. I was using this fuzz by Stax, and it's about average $30 on Amazon. It can vary, but you know, it's a fuzz. I liked that it's reasonably adjustable and it's not complete fuzz fest, depending on what you're looking for. But the thing I use fuzz for is if I play Black Keys, and that's one song. So, and I just haven't been super happy with what I've been getting out of this. I mean, to be fair, it's supposed to sound like kind of hot garbage, and so it does. When I was at my brother's recently, he had Overdrive and he had distortion for just guitar. He had the good old-fashioned Boss pedals, like the orange distortion one. And I was kind of wondering, like, what's the difference between fuzz and distortion? And then Overdrive, for that matter. So the answer is it's really more guitar than bass, is what I'm finding. So Overdrive, you kind of want it sounding like you've turned up the gain on your amp to the point that it's going to sound like hot garbage, but it gets that sweet spot where you can play a lot of classic rock kind of sounds. Distortion's supposed to be a bit messier, and so again, I think we look at, I don't know, crunchy metal or, you know, hair bands or whatever. These are really dated references, but I think that, you know, it's also a dated pedal, that orangey Boss pedal. But I mean, it kind of does what it was meant to do without being flat out fuzz. And fuzz is kind of a thing unto itself. It has its fans. And certainly one of its fans is the Black Keys, because I don't think they can cross the street without fuzz, so there you have it. But I was watching BassTheWorld, and they always review this stuff because it's always given to them by people. And they do a really good job. Just they get in, they get out, they tell you what's what. He always has a guest bass player. I should look into that. And then they just whip through the features. They whip through the tone demo. Side note, tone demos on YouTube are next to useless because of the compression that YouTube uses. You're not really getting the real sound. The best you can really kind of hope for is a feature demo of something like this. So I'm going to do that today. I don't, you know, I'm really kind of not feeling the love on doing reviews on this channel, but I'm going to try it. I'm going to give it a whirl with this. So here we go. I'm unboxing this. It comes with instructions for what it's worth. Comes with some feet I'm going to stick on. Comes hermetically sealed in this package. So I will unhermetically seal it now. So what got me interested in this, and I will link the video in the description to be fair, BassTheWorld did like a 4-minute video of this, so they really got to the point, unlike probably what I'll do with this. But you got 4 control knobs. So let's see what we have here. We have tone, we have blend. I don't know what we're blending, but we're going to find out. We have volume, which is typical of Joyo, and then you have gain. And then you've got gain boost, and then you've got mid boost. All right, so this specific pedal, and it's called the double thruster, by the way. I mean, I'm sure the video description says that, but here we are. So this pedal is really more for guitars. I'm using it for bass, and again, like I said, I'm not super happy with the results. And what that tends to mean is that you're using the wrong pedal for the job. Now, this pedal is actually made for bass. So hence the mid boost, that depending on the kind of tone you want, you're going to lose frequencies, especially here. So if there's frequencies you want to kind of bring out, then this mid thing is going to get you there. So what really got me throwing this in the cart is they said, unlike a lot of other pedals of its kind, up to and including, I guess those dark glass pedals, they're expensive is all I know. Once I found out they're expensive, I just kind of tuned them out. Like, I can't afford it, whatever, I don't care. My general understanding is that dark glass is much more for metalheads, and I'm not a metalhead, so there went that. And so with this pedal, you can use it pretty much all day, every day. Like, tell me more. Because when I stripped out my pedal board of stuff like this, when I stripped out the pedal board and just went straight to the mixer with no nothing, I got through practice last night when I did it, but there were certain songs, it's like, man, the bass just, it gets lost. In fact, that was the feedback I was getting from the band, is it's like, it's song by song. It's like one song the bass is all over it, and the next song the bass is just might as well not even be there. And I'm like, what? It's all the same levels and settings. It was fine on this song. What's so different here? And I think what it is harmonically or sonically or whatever, the bass just gets eaten up by other stuff. And so this might help kind of cut through the bull here. So I'm going to put this on my pedal board and I'm going to find out. And then I'm going to come back and I'm going to actually demo this. Or I'm going to say, use the link in the description and go to BassTheWorld. Honestly, they're going to do a way better job of this than I will. But this is more consciousness raising that this even exists. Again, not sponsored, so like, what's my motivation for doing this? I don't know, I'm a nice guy, that's why. So anyway, I'm going to throw this on the pedal board, I'm going to find out, and then I'm going to come back and tell you what I found out. All right, all wired in. You know I got Joyo on the board because that happened, and that happened. Okay. I, by the way, am a fan of this lighting scheme. I think it's so cool. So my pedal board is such. I got some cables coming. Jamie hates how many cables I order on a pretty much daily basis, it feels like. It depends on what I bring into the house that informs what cables are coming as a result of that. So this looks like a device I can't bring with me to the airport is what I'm saying. So now to mess around. wasn't gonna do a tone demo, but I kind of have to, because screwing around with this pedal, I kind of dialed in something I like. So to recap, fuzz, good kind of, but not always. And this can just, again, turn into hot nonsense really fast, depending on how much clarity of tone you're looking for. But I mean, I guess if you're looking for clarity of tone, you probably wouldn't be using a fuzz, but anyway, there's that. So with the double thruster, everything's nearly at noon. And then I've got the gain boost on, which I didn't think I'd need that, but I did. And then I have the mid boost off. The thing is, this is my go-to bass these days when I'm at home. So it's my Sire P5. Love it, love it. Not sponsored. And then at the rehearsal spot, I keep my Harley Benton. So I don't have to keep lugging a bass back and forth. It's just one less thing to pack. The Harley Benton is a much lighter version of this. But the point being, it's a P bass, and because it's a P bass, I'm not really into, I don't know how else to put it, sound like Green Day. Green Day did a lot of turning up the treble on the bass, and goody for them. I mean, it's their sound. I'd almost say iconic, but it's not my sound. So if I'm around the house, especially playing a P bass, I'm gonna want kind of a darker sound. So I don't really need so like I turned the tone down to like P bass levels, so we'll put that right about there. And it was too muddy for my purposes. So the volume is just a little over noon. Blend, I don't know what blend even does. I guess I should probably read this stuff, huh? But hi, editing Ethan here. I looked at this. Blend blends. I don't know what it's blending, but it blends something. So there you go. Use at your own risk. I'm not going to do it on 4K video. How about that? Blend didn't seem to make a radical difference whichever way I turn it, so noon just seems to be fine. And then gain, just again a little over noon. As I hope you heard in the tone demo, or whatever we're calling this, the demo. I'll find out when I edit this. It puts some dirt on it without being flat out fuzz. The thing I also found about this pedal is it can get really noisy when you start going up. Like if you decide the level has to go all the way up to max for some reason, and the gain has to go all the way up to max for some reason, and you got the gain boost going, it's really noisy, and not in a good way, I'm finding. So let me dial this back to where I had it. So, so I agree. This is the kind of pedal you could leave on the whole time and probably be fine if you don't mind a little dirt on your bass. If you want clean for some kind of reason, like as an example, we are going to be covering Taylor Swift. Because of that, I'm not going to have this on when we do the Taylor Swift thing. It's just going to be raw dog. But something like Collective Soul, then yes, I'm going to turn on the double thruster just for a little more oomph. One of the songs that this was getting lost in somewhere was Venus by Shocking Blue. And there's just so much harmonic battle going on that somehow the bass gets dealt out because you're playing kind of higher up the neck or up the strings than I normally would, because you should be down here typically in the money land. But it's the song that does require you to be more up here. And so because of that, it can get a bit thin. That's when that gain boost had helped, because at least you get the thud of knowing that the bass is doing something back there. So some of it could be that I'm still learning the mixer, which is a story for another time. But for the purposes of this video, I wanted to throw some kind of demo together, because I don't think that the BassTheWorld dudes covered what I ended up doing with this. So I hope I demonstrated that to your liking. And if you like it, like it. And I don't know, give me a subscribe maybe. But definitely like it. That's the start. Anyway, more videos coming. So keep learning, keep playing, and I'll catch you in the next video.